Hey fellas, Onish here, and welcome back to With a Y, and unfortunately, for the second day in a row, I am coming to you with tragic news. Right after the spring lock suit was made real, we needed something to be a pick-me-up, and what better to do that than to dive into, like, media you like, or like, what is a comfort show for you? And for a lot of people, that was one Smiling Friends. Until Adult Swim decided that, I can't let you do that, and came through the Twitter timeline and just slapped its cock on the table and told us an important announcement from Michael and Zach, and I think we should hear them out, the final words from the creators of Smiling Friends.
Hello everybody, how's everybody doing?
Hello everybody.
Hello Zach.
And hello Michael. We should probably get into the real meat and potatoes of why we're here, which is, and I'm going to cut right to the chase, this is not a bit, this is not a joke. Michael and I are here to announce that Smiling Friends will be ending after Season 3 is done.
No! Not right now! I need this! The economy's in free fall! My bank account is in the negatives! The only thing keeping me going was this fucking show! Okay, jokes aside, this is like a 6-minute long video. I'd recommend you check out the full thing yourself if you want to get like in the granulars of the details they gave. But basically it comes down to, it wasn't canceled. Adult Swim was apparently more than happy to continue having the show go. You know this from watching the show. A lot goes into it, like all the art styles coming together, getting people to make various parts of it, and all the work that Michael and Zach say they were putting in, like, since the show started. Like, it's just balls to walls here, like, with production timelines. And A, they don't want to run it into the ground, and B, like, they can apparently feel themselves burning out. A very relatable feeling to any creator out there, I'm sure. And this seems more like a Smiling Friends is stopping for now, potentially forever situation. They float at the end that, like, hey, if we're feeling genuinely inspired, like, down the line, we can consider coming back, but that's just, like, not really what is on the table at the moment. And I think that's a perfectly respectable creative decision to make. Like, they say they're still going to be collaborating on stuff. Like, this is merely the end of this show for now. Maybe happy is the wrong word, but still looking forward to what else it is these guys put together, whether they go for like smaller pursuits or they like try to make a different show, that sort of thing. But that's like a really small balm on the wound for anybody who really liked the show, myself included. Replies are just full of people marking the end of days. Turn on the news, it doesn't matter what channel! A reference to that one they fucking hit the Pentagon clip by the same guys. Oh yeah, we are definitely killing ourselves. Hey, guys, listen, don't do that. Otherwise you might never live to see the day that they do something else together, at which point you might also find similar joy. There's like 2 more episodes of the show that are still coming out. It was actually kind of merciful of them to announce this while there's still like new content to look forward to, as opposed to between seasons and there's an extended wait and they're like, oh yeah, we canceled that shit. Like, there's still an up to go from to here. Like, we are given time to mourn, get our affairs in order. It's like being told you have 3 months to live so you can actually write your last will and testament because you put that on the back burner your whole life. From the mysterious fucking detective, the Smiling Friends? Dead? But who killed him? 2 top suspects, Zach Hadel and Michael Cusick, also known by their mob names, Psychic Pebbles and Cusack Creatures. But if these are just the triggermen, who's the boss? I love the really poorly edited PNG on top. We have like a few culprits, people claiming blame, and it's hard to know if this is like a terrorist attack that an organization wants credit for, or if these are people also grieving, putting it on themselves, asking, could I have done something different? Would they still be here if I made one different choice? Soggy said, it's all my fault, I'm sorry. Okay guys, time to come clean. They wanted to hire me to work on the show, but during the interview, Zach saw this drawing and said, you know what? I'm tired of you drawing mean pictures of our beautiful characters. I'm done. Smiling Friends is over! It should be said, this is a joke. Even clarified by the person themselves. Okay, before anyone puts a bounty on my head, it's a joke. They don't know who I am. And this, no matter when it would have happened, probably would have come to a shock to anybody. But like, I think when you get to the 5-season mark, if you have like a high bar of quality the whole time, a lot of people are willing to entertain the idea of like, maybe it's run its course. We don't want to get into Simpsons or SpongeBob played out territory. But Adult Swim mid last year, like, confirmed that Smiling Friends Season 3 is coming this fall, plus Seasons 4 and 5 are on the way. So it seemed like there was a production timetable in there, like, in mind. And honestly, this is one of my favorite fucking community notes. Turn on the TV, it doesn't matter what channel. A genuine refrain from everybody just screaming out in fucking pain at losing their beloved Pookie. You had people mocking the aggrieved, which it's like, okay, if you're gonna mock us, can you do it in a funny anyway, please? Nope. Old classic. White people when they ended smiling friends. Avengers Endgame funeral scene, as you do, as you do. I like the idea that, like, there is something in the wild or, like, a specific thing that happened to Zach and Michael where they're like, dude, we have to end this now. We can't tell, like, we have to kill this in the moment. There's, like, a lot of smiling friends bits that have become, like, their own viral clips over the years that are very, very fun to revisit now. They passed a smoke shop display with a smiling friends bong and they saw the future. They had no choice. This is a good point. To be a responsible pet owner, you have to know when it's the right time to kill your dog. If you love something, let it go, and if it comes back to you in the form of inspiration, then maybe perhaps it can be yours, but we're in that first step right now. My thing is, like, when the concept of something, like a show people like ends, or like a long-running series comes to a close, those are like stories that people are able to get invested in or laugh at or just otherwise enjoy being able to share together. People, on the other hand, like real-life ones, will always be controversial. Stories can as well, obviously. But you had people like noting pretty early on, the timeline is mourning smiling friends more than it did Charlie Kirk. Ooh, I didn't laugh, I didn't laugh, I didn't laugh. NSA, Palantir, I didn't laugh. That was me clearing my throat of the phlegm brought to my head by my tears because of how much I mourn Charlie Kirk. I think the most possible culprit we have of anybody outside of the actual parents of the show deciding to kill their kid in its cradle is one Wend-Eye Goon. Okay, look, Zach, I'm sorry I tagged you in this. I thought it was funny at the time, but this is getting out of hand. I take it back. I'm sorry. Stop! Stop! And you guys have definitely seen the fucking Omegaverse Smiling Friends comic at this point, man. This thing has gone to the corners of every end of the earth and made its way back home to us. Oh, Charlie, it hurts. I'm in heat, and I haven't been able to leave my bed. Could you get me some water? Yeah, dude. But I think it's time we get past the blame game, the denial, the bargaining. We have to stop looking backwards and look forward. What do we have to look forward to? We have those 2 episodes coming down the pipeline that I think are gonna, like, hit a little extra hard in the wake of all this. Maybe there'll be like a big spread of all the characters and it'll say, we are smiling friends. But right now, I think it's important to let yourself feel these negative emotions and do like fish. I'm not smiling friends. We've accepted they're gone. But what do we do next? From the fucking weather. Thank you, weather app. You just created a million smiling friends. And I'd like to think that Smiling Friends was doing that during its time on this earth. It was bringing like a bunch of art styles from people like you may have seen on the internet and also just like a bunch of creative folk, and seeing all this like creativity on display like inspired probably a lot of people to try their hand at shit they thought looked neat. It gave work to a lot of people who were doing cool shit on the internet. Like I know like 1 or 2 guys who were involved with the show. And like that's cool. It's like it was an opportunity builder for a lot of folk to get involved in like something like official feeling. I don't know. Smiling Friends was really zeitgeist, if that makes sense. In a way that I didn't expect the show to be when it first started, and it was really cool to see it like go as far as it did, and I think it deserved to with how much I really enjoyed it. The truth is though, the work is left to us, everybody. Guys, we can keep Smiling Friends alive by making people smile every day. It's what Mr. Boss would want. Left in the wake of Smiling Friends ending is like all these fan projects or like fan adjacent projects like the Cool Autistic Gamer or what was the fucking chick's name? These characters were never official, but like it was incredible to watch them progress on the outskirts of the show anyways. And somebody pointed out that the Cool Autistic Gamer 774's final video ending with him walking through the Smiling Friends office abandoned and turning the lights off as he leaves was probably stealth announcing that Smiling Friends would be ending. If nothing else, it's incredible art. It's transcended and seems to almost be like an oracle in some ways. It told the future that we didn't expect to be a possible outcome, at least not this soon. Oh, wait. Yeah, my like robot news watching senses are tingling, and there is new news. A new 10-second clip has emerged. An important announcement from Michael and Zach. I'm sorry to everybody who had to hear that. That was incredibly disturbing footage. We believe that to be an audio recording of the Smiling Friends being murdered brutally as it coughs on the blood in its lungs. Truly tragic stuff. I'm sorry you had to see that. I hope your kids were not in the room. Equivalent of, you know, this
Chris
clip.
Ran into my room and started shaking me and said, Lyle, wake up! You gotta wake up, please!
Lyle, turn the TV to hit the Pentagon! They hit the fucking Pentagon!
Just when I thought we were making it past the worst parts of grief, the destructive ones that make you lash outwards and in yourself, we got hit with just some viscerally disturbing imagery that I truly have no words for. Keep those you hold dear close, put them in your arms while they still have them, because you won't realize what you lost until it's gone. Anyways, be sure to follow me on Twitter at @withAY. That email's in the description if you guys want to send me any video topics. Anyways, piss off with love.